Hello and welcome to the weekend warm-up, coming to you live from the Premier League studios. And look who's come out of the woodwork following Chelsea's loss to Arsenal. I mean, Liv.
I don't want to talk about it, but we're going to have to, aren't we?
Absolutely we are.
Guys, the team has snookered this week, so I'm here, boys. Are you happy to have me back?
Yeah.
No, I'll take that as a no. No?
Is that your trousers?
I reckon they're from mine from this. I had them in the 70s. I think I had all different colours.
I've had a lot of compliments on these jeans today. I'm just saying.
I love
Thanks,
them.
Leroy.
I want them back up.
I'll give it back to you after the show.
Can I just say, Olivia, I'm head of style department. You look fantastic.
Thank you, JJ. Definitely not these two. So
self-anointed. Okay, now we are hurtling towards the end of April. So every fixture now takes on an extra importance. How about Arsenal against Manchester United to kick off your Saturday before 3 games, including one that I have a big say in goings on at the top and bottom, when Manchester City host Watford. Brentford against Spurs ends the day. Then on Sunday, 4 matches are there to look forward to, with Chelsea against West Ham, another London derby, and sticking with the derby theme, and they don't come much bigger, than Liverpool against Everton.
yeah, and that game is simply huge on Sunday. Everton find themselves 1 point clear of 18th placed Burnley, and Frank Lampard's side could even find themselves in the relegation zone come kick-off at Anfield. Norwich and Watford, meanwhile, have just 6 games left to somehow save themselves. But victory for Liverpool is crucial. They remain a point behind City after both sides won in midweek, while in the fight for 4th, Spurs, Arsenal and Manchester United are separated by just 3 points. And look at Chelsea. They look secure in 3rd for now, but both North London clubs are just 5 points behind them.
Now, coming up, we'll bring you my interview with Liverpool's flying fullbacks, and the bromance is real. What do you admire about this game?
Oh, I might go in first, yeah.
How long have we got?
There's a huge game at the Emirates as both Arsenal and Manchester United attempt to steal the momentum in the race for 4th.
The only thing I think about is just perform for the team and try to get Champions League football next season, and then fight there and fight for titles with the club.
Yeah, I'm here in North London ahead of what is going to be a massive match here at the Emirates on the weekend. I'll be having a little chat to an Arsenal fan later on, and I'll also be finding out how this club is leading the charge when it comes to sustainability on what is World Earth Day.
And I've been a busy boy. Stick around to see who I bumped into on the red carpet last night as the Premier League inducted its latest members to the Hall of Fame.
Cannot live together, cannot live apart. The next twist in the complex relationship between 2 utterly detached neighbours.
It's a huge derby.
The biggest derby that I'll ever experience.
The most important derby in years.
It's the worst. It could be the best.
It's probably the biggest chasm between the 2 sides ever. Liverpool are going for the title. Everton are staring relegation down the barrel.
My eyes are filling up now even thinking about it.
Never want to see it. Never want to see it.
It could be the end. For both teams, this could be history. We are on a run that we've never been before. They are potentially going to do something that they've never done before.
They were born from our club. They don't deserve to relegate us. They won't relegate us.
You could never ever write Everton off in a derby match. I've learned that at my peril.
If they stopped us and we end up losing the league, yeah, of course, they're going to love it, aren't they?
Not happening.
We won there last season. The hoodoo is broken.
Let's be with the Blues. We've got it in us.
Liverpool need the 3 points just as much as Everton.
It's all or nothing.
Liverpool winning the league, Everton going down. It's the perfect season, isn't it?
Liverpool against Everton, always been one of the biggest fixtures on the Premier League calendar. If you'd like to join in on the show and give us your view and opinion on that game at Anfield this weekend, use the hashtag weekend warm-up. Will Liverpool have it as easy as everybody thinks? We don't know. It is a derby game. Join in and take part in the show. Don and Leroy, on paper, the way that both teams are playing, everyone thinks it's going to be easy, but is it?
JJ, I ain't going to lie. I am petrified. I'm petrified for 2 reasons. Everton can beat Liverpool, there's a chance that'll derail Liverpool, obviously, for the Premier League, and Liverpool could seriously put Everton into the bottom three, and Everton could go down this season. So this is a game I just want to watch. I'm going to be nervous, I'm going to be petrified, I'm going to be anxious, and then see who's got the quality. And if we're talking quality, Liverpool are going to be massive favourites. You won't see an Everton side copy what Man U done last week, where they hardly touched them, hardly got round the place. Everton's strength in this game is going to be touch tight, put your tackles in, be brutal, because that's a Merseyside derby. It's just a fact of life. But Liverpool's quality at the moment, they are relentless at the moment.
I was just about to say, Leroy, usually when we look at title races, or the last time we looked at a title race when it was Man City and Liverpool, everyone was saying it was Man City that were relentless, didn't look like dropping a single point. Is that now Liverpool? We're looking at Liverpool saying they do not look like dropping a single point in this title race.
Absolutely, Liv. And do you know what? I just look at Liverpool and they seem to turn it on and off like a tap. You know, like the start of the game is, let's do it. Let's turn it off for 15 minutes and we'll turn it back on again. And it's just unbelievable. And the squad's all fit. Everybody seems to be at the top of their game, including everybody who's sat on the bench as well. Everybody comes off the bench, seems at the peak of the performance. And so at the moment, and I know it sounds silly, but I said Man City, and I'm going to stick with Man City, but it seems to me like it feels like Liverpool are favourites because they seem so much more likely.
Whoa. One second.
It just seems to me, just watching the games, watching how Liverpool are playing, obviously the cup, the semi-final, even though Man City changed their team, it just seems that Liverpool are just on this roll, this momentum. And I said, when the international break came, that came a good time for Man City. Well, I'll tell you what, it seems to have come for a good time for Liverpool as well, because I just think they've upped their level. So look, at the moment, the way they're playing, you wouldn't back against Liverpool.
Do you remember sitting in the green room a month and a half ago, and me and you having one of our rows as we normally do?
Which one? Which one was that?
I'll tell you what it was. It was the squad depth.
Oh, yes.
And I said to you, it feels like at the moment, Liverpool have got a bigger, deeper squad than Man City.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's true.
And they keep picking up injuries. Although Diaz comes back, then Stones goes off. Walker gets injured. It just seems that at the moment everything's going Liverpool's way. By the way, it could change very, very quickly. But I just think you sense that. And by the way, just going on to Man City, watching Man City, against Brighton, you sense that nerves, that tension within that game, which wasn't there against Liverpool. And then you looked after the game, Liverpool's front three, assists and goals. Man City's front three, all scored.
Yeah.
But you just feel that at the moment Liverpool are more convincing.
A few weeks ago, and I'm sure it was when Liverpool were playing City, and we did all the way to the end of the season score prediction, points tally. You ended up with Man City winning by a point.
Yeah.
And it was only a point at the time. You now think Liverpool are going to win.
No, whoa. I said Liverpool are favourites. Don't twist my words. I said Liverpool are favourites at the moment, looking at it, and I said I stick with Man City, but just the way they're playing at the moment, you feel, how are you going to stop Liverpool?
So hang
on.
That's what I
said. Hang on. So you got Liverpool as favourites.
But you think Man City?
But 2 weeks ago, Man City will pip them by a point.
Absolutely. And I still, it's just you watch them play. No, you watch them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm glad you're on today. The way that they're playing, just feel Liverpool are unstoppable. But I still think City, that was a massive result for Man City. Obviously, because Brighton, I know people say, but Brighton did a job on Arsenal, they did a job on Tottenham, they did a job on City for the first 45 minutes. So to get over the line like they did, to get a couple of players back, to get De Bruyne playing like he is, I think it's going to be harder for City. But I do think that at the moment Liverpool are just brilliant.
So looking at the games that they both have remaining, the last time we looked at it, Liverpool still had City to play. They still had Manchester United to play. Yeah. Two of their more difficult games.
Just Tottenham now, really, isn't it?
Well,
look at those.
I mean, it's the Premier League. Let's be honest. We do know that on any given game, you could get a bit of an upset in the Premier League. But the way that Liverpool are playing at the moment, Don, you look down at listen, Newcastle are in fantastic form.
Can I just say something, Don?
Go on.
Newcastle away all of a sudden is a difficult game for Liverpool.
I just touched on that.
That's after the Real Madrid game, or before the Real Madrid game in the Champions League. It's hard, Jonathan, because you look at the games and they're all tough games in their own right. They are. But we're talking about the two best teams in Europe, in my opinion. The two strongest footballing sides, completely stylistically, completely different. City can just go bam, bam, bam and wear you down and be relentless and be silky, where Liverpool are like a heavyweight boxer. They get you in a headlock and there's no getting out of it. They're too strong.
Can I just say, Headlocks aren't allowed in boxing.
Well, the boxing I watch it is.
Don, looking at those fixtures for Manchester City, and you look at the Liverpool one on paper, that Spurs game, they nicked a draw, didn't they, against them earlier in the season, Spurs did against Liverpool. Are you looking there, which game do you think, if any, City are likely to slip up in? Because looking at those fixtures...
Well, I mentioned the Leeds and the Newcastle, that's in between the two Real Madrid games. But I'm looking at West Ham away.
Yeah.
I think that's the one when West Ham have had some good results over Man City.
But if they're still in the Europa League by that point, are they going to be focusing? I suppose you don't.
Yeah, honestly, Liv, you're looking at it and you give every team their due and their credit who Man City and Liverpool are going to play against, and they're all going to want to finish high in the table. There's some teams there like Newcastle who are completely free, but they want to finish in the top half. They've got 6 home wins on the spin. Tottenham are trying to get into the top 4, so you can make a case Villa and Stevie G needs a result later on. Newcastle for Man City, Leeds away after Real Madrid.
Leeds aren't safe yet, are they?
No, it's difficult. But what you would say, in all of those fixtures, Man City and Liverpool will be favourites.
Leroy, you touched on it earlier, and I don't know if we're going to rehash the question. Considering where they are Premier League-wise, considering where they are both trying to win the Champions League, Liverpool's squad at the moment looks like Jurgen Klopp's able to keep every one of his playing staff fresh. Is that going to be the key?
Yes, absolutely. And it's because of the way Liverpool play. You know, the rotation and you see now, we used to watch Liverpool players come off and they'd be upset. Salah be upset, man. They're not upset. They're happy. They're happy to come off because they know the next game's just as important. They're being saved. So, and as I said, they're just at peak performance. And I have never seen. I never thought I'd be saying this because over the last 3 or 4 years, I've said that before. I thought, no, Liverpool can't get any better. They are. They're better than they were last year. They're better than they were the season before.
I was just about to say, Don, is this the first time we're talking about Liverpool potentially having a better squad, maybe than Manchester City, or one of the best squads in the league?
Well, that was our argument a couple of months back, and the reason I said that, and I watch Liverpool now, and I'm thinking, apart from Trent at right back, who's completely different, like Cancelo, these guys are like number 10s in terms of their passing and their range and their assists and their goals. Joe Gomez could come in on any given day and be a defensive right back. He can do the job very well. Apart from that, you go, if Andy Robertson's missing, Tsimikas has done really well. Who do you like? Do you like Joe Matip or do you like Konate? Take your pick.
Either or,
Either or. You're going to midfield. Is it going to be Naby Keita? Is it going to be Jordan Henderson? The front 5 is incredible. And the front 5, I don't think Jurgen Klopp knows his best 3, but that's a good thing. Can I just very quickly, like the Arsenal game, when it's not quite working and when Arsenal were a little bit of a test for Liverpool, he throws on, I think it was Mo Salah and Firmino. It's ridiculous.
Can I just throw a little grenade in there? Because I was having a chat with myself, because I haven't got many friends.
Is that what you do?
That's why I don't have many friends.
You normally get a better conversation.
I do. I get someone to agree with me.
Liverpool and City.
I was thinking, Mane or Salah, and I thought Mane all day long. I just wondered, is that throwing a grenade in? But
it's not. It's not. The guy, Leroy, is incredible.
Isn't he?
Not only on the pitch, off the pitch, his attitude is amazing. I know when I played the game and I got brought off the pitch, I was gutted. I was even more devastated when I got dropped and didn't play. These guys under Jurgen Klopp have got attitudes like you wouldn't believe. They're not happy because they've got pride. They want to play. But you look at what Mane does. I see him bounce off centre-backs. I see him being stronger. I see him being fitter. I see him got unbelievable ability. He's got vision where he can get assists. All of a sudden now, and I don't know if it's just me, I think in the last probably 3 or 4 months, probably since the AFCON, I think there's a genuine relationship between Sadio Mane and Mo Salah. It looks like they're now starting to play together. Where there was always that little bit of friction.
It's improved, hasn't it?
It has
100%.
Has improved. But if you had to pick one, at the moment, I would pick Mane. And Salah is incredible, by the way. But if I had to, it would be Mane.
You drive a hard bargain, you, Mr. Russell.
What Leroy is that, though? Is that one or is that one?
It's a good-looking one. No, it's neither.
Okay. Now, key to Liverpool's title charge, as always, are the lightning-quick fullbacks, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson. And I went up to the Northwest earlier this week to chat to them. First time ever making their debut on the weekend warm-up. Welcome, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson, Liverpool's flying wingers. We're looking forward to the Merseyside derby. about the sort of vibe and atmosphere in the town leading up to it. What has your experience been?
You know when the derby's kind of round the corner. You know, always when you bump into people in the streets and things like that, they always mention trying to beat them. And if you bump into Everton fans, they're, to be fair, they're polite, but they always say they hope that they get the 3 points. Since I've came to Liverpool, I've realised that quite a lot of families are kind of split and things like that. That's not the way up in Glasgow. You're either one or the other, but down here there's quite a few split, and it can cause family tension. But it's all good banter and it's all good stuff.
Trent, your family split at all?
Nah, not really, to be honest with you, all Reds, to be honest.
I thought you was going to say no, all blue.
Nah, all Reds. Like, I've got a lot of Everton fans as mates. It is a big split in the city. It's quite evenly split. I'd always say there's more Liverpool fans, but I know a lot of Everton fans, to be fair, yeah.
Being a Liverpool boy through and through, what are your memories of this game?
It was always, massively passionate and something that everyone looked forward to. I think even like being a kid, me and my brothers, even like on the playground and stuff like that, there'd be a Liverpool team and an Everton team, and you pick your player to recreate, and you try and make it as relatable as possible and as realistic as possible as well.
I mean, Andrew, coming from north of the border, you know a thing or two about a big derby game with the Old Firm, of course. What was your first experience like and memories of the Merseyside derby?
Yeah, I think the first one I played in wasn't long after I was in the team. I think I'd only played like 2 or 3 games up to then, and Merseyside derby was quite quick. It was at home. It was intense. It was fast start. I think we drew it actually. I think Wayne Rooney might have scored the penalty. But yeah, it's derbies are all about you need to win them. And that's you want the fans to get the bragging rights and things like that. But it's always difficult. Merseyside derbies are always tough, and you can feel how much it means to the fans, and you don't want to disappoint them on the day, and you want them to go to the pub or go to work the next day and and have a smile on their face.
You touched on earlier being in the playground and emulating those games, half red, half blue. Who were your favourite Liverpool players growing up? And I'm really interested to know if there were any fullbacks.
Not really,
No.
to be honest with you. No, not really. I think obviously Gerrard was big for me. I liked the exciting players. I used to love Torres, Alonso, Garcia, Suarez, players like that were just exciting to watch, score goals, and like most of the time were the match winners for us, so they were the ones that stood out to me.
Is he a frustrated forward, Andrew?
He falls in the category of being too creative to be at fullback, but it weirdly suits him. It's like it weirdly just falls into place. But like you said, his players growing up and everything are probably like flair players, and he's tried to bring that into a fullback role that it doesn't really fit, but he's made it work.
And I'm going to ask you this as well, Trent, but you're going to get the jump on him. What do you admire about his game?
Oh, I'm going first, yeah.
How long have we got?
It's the bravery for me. Big games, any game really, he takes the ball in tight positions. He always tries to create things, even when he's not playing great and people think he should.
When's
maybe.
that?
There's been a couple, not many, but there's been a couple, and dealing with the pressure of being a Scouser, so much more pressure on him than any other player in our squad, I believe, and the way he just handles it, works hard every single day, tries to get better, tries to improve on things, puts up ridiculous numbers every single year, and all the obvious things are there to be seen, but it's the stuff that maybe people don't see that stands out for me the most.
Trent, your turn to give Andy his flowers.
That's what we short and sweet.
No, I think for me the biggest thing about Robbo is his consistency. I think it's the hardest thing in football. You can have a good game, a lot of players will have a good game, and a lot of players will have 10 good games or a good season. It's very hard to continue that and to continuously guarantee and that you're going to be a solid player for every single game. And there's, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't really remember him ever. I can't remember coming off the pitch and thinking Robbo's had a bad game there or Robbo's had a stinker, you know.
Would you tell him if he did?
Yeah. I'm waiting for the day.
I just take them out in every training session.
He will and should go down as one of the best left backs that this league's ever seen for me.
Right, we're going to do our quick fire questions now. So it's the first thing that comes into your head. All right. Your go-to track on your favourite music app.
I listen to a lot of Mumford and Sons when I come in, so I just like chilling out, Little Line Man probably.
I don't really. I just shuffle my music, you know.
What's your go-to?
Artist
would be probably Drake, I would say.
If you asked all Premier League footballers, I think Drake would be right up there.
Nah, but I like me old school rap as well.
You do, yeah.
I like me old school rap.
Best mate in the team. Okay, next. You could have one more meal. What would it be?
I like a chicken curry.
Oh, I love a curry, mate. An Indian from Glasgow. It's not the same down here.
How hot?
Not very.
I quite like spice.
Your favourite Instagram post?
I'll say the one after we won the Carabao, and I put like a nice caption of like 1 out of 4 out of like the 4 trophies, 1 out of 4, hungry for more.
I'd say, I think winning the Champions League. I think there was a good photo of me holding the trophy above and all the lads kind of around me.
Favourite holiday destination?
LA.
Portugal.
One thing on your bucket list?
Win the World Cup.
I'd love to achieve something with Scotland, that's for sure.
After the Merseyside derby, what colour is Liverpool going to be?
Red.
It's always red anyway.
Hopefully red.
Gents, thanks very much. Absolute stars.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was our very own JJ with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson. Now, we know how brilliant they are on the pitch, but what I love, JJ, is their personalities. They're both absolutely hilarious. The question where you asked who their best mate was, and they were both like, what was it like for you interviewing them? Because are they as brilliant as what we see?
I was quite taken aback with how sort of calm they were. When I watched Trent play, his character is exactly how he played football. Never seems stressed, never seems under pressure. Andrew Robertson mentioned there that he takes the ball in tight areas. That's kind of how he was in the interview. And as we went on, he seemed to open up a little bit more. I could see a leader in Andrew Robertson, an absolute, you can tell it, and he almost like held Trent's hand in the right way for it. But yeah, Liverpool are so lucky to have not just one but 2 fullbacks like that at the same time. Both fantastic, and they seem like great human beings as well.
They seem like great human beings, great friends. And Leroy, just how influential have these two been on the pitch for Liverpool over the last couple of years?
Yeah, they have been really influential. I wanted you to ask JJ why he wore an Arsenal shirt while he was interviewing them. But anyway, that's another question. But anyway, we've got some analysis of Trent and Robertson, and their personality shows on the pitch, Don. And that's all about Jurgen Klopp, because I remember when Trent made his debut, I'll never forget it, in the Manchester derby, I call it the Manchester derby, and he had a terrible time against Rashford, but he's grown into this incredible player. Andy Robertson went to Hull when my son was there, and I saw him, I didn't think a lot of him. They've grown into these incredible superstars. And why is that, Don?
I tell you what, well, it's all from the manager. It's the manager making sure that they've got confidence, personality, character to put on that Liverpool shirt and perform, then allowing them the freedom, because they're two very, very good players, quite different players, I think. You know, JJ's right in his analysis of both players. Andy Robertson will be a future captain. He will captain his country, and he has done. But I think you're looking at Trent, who's a little bit more of a free spirit. But what I've noticed, I think, with Trent over the last, I don't know, probably 8, 9, 10 months, is the frame on him. He's now gone from like a scrawny, skinny kid, as we all are, in our teens, to now a man. And you see the shoulders, the body on him. He's always had the technique where he's just a ridiculously good footballer. Both of them are. Both of them are quick, they're dynamic. Andy Robertson loves to get a tackle in. He's quite aggressive. But they're playing in a team that absolutely suits them. And every time they go forward, they've got the ability to pick out passes.
And you know what? It's not easy. I've just paused it there because we're thinking, this is something we see on a regular basis. But the quality that they produce is incredible, especially from these areas. Because if you're crossing the ball from sort of this area out here, it's a lot easier to make a mistake. But the way they manipulate the ball into the box on so many occasions, it's just high quality.
So, Leroy, let me just take that back. Carry on, but let me just take you back on from a fullback's point of view. Normally, the area that you want to put that ball in is about there, isn't it?
Yeah.
He sees a different picture. He sees a different picture. He clips it in to the far post where, out of his peripheral vision, he spotted his mate on the overlap.
Yeah. And leaves it in there. I mean, JJ said this to me before about leaving it in there. Even if that isn't spot on, it's so difficult to defend against, so difficult to get away, because if you pull it in with too much space, all you need is to deflect it away. But they do it with quality time and time again. Look, they've got the teams there, Don, and I think it's quite easy in terms of Liverpool, you know, the team that they pick. It's a big game, you know, and Jurgen Klopp, I think, will play what I think is his best team. Obviously, there's a debate about the front three because if Diaz goes in there, look, it won't weaken the side at all.
You've gone for 3 changes. You've gone Konate, Keita and Jota. Exactly.
Konate is a goal scorer in centre half now. You know, Jota has been brilliant. Keita, I think, is starting to find his feet. You know, I was a bit concerned about their midfield with Keita and Thiago. We'll come onto Thiago in a second. How do you think Everton are going to?
Sorry, Don, before you go in there, Leroy, I have to ask how Liverpool could be starting a Merseyside derby without Jordan Henderson.
Rotation,
yeah.
It's rotation because
this game.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the game. It doesn't. I mean, it does matter to a certain extent what the opposition are like. But when you've got a turnover of games where it's every 3 days, it's impossible. It's impossible to play Jordan Henderson, even though he's club captain, in every single game. And it might be that he plays for Naby Keita. I think we're surmising because the 3 changes that we've got Jurgen Klopp making, there will be changes from the last game. There's no way. I'd bet my house Jurgen Klopp doesn't go same 11.
I get Konate. I expect this to be quite a physical affair.
Yeah.
Everton post some threat set pieces. Yeremina being back in the side as well is definitely going to be a factor. But I can't see Liverpool not starting a Merseyside derby.
Yeah, it could be wrong.
Without Jordan
We're not the Oracle. We're not the Oracle. We're trying to surmise which players potentially he will drop. There's no way in a million years he's dropping Thiago. There's no way in a million years he's dropping Fabinho, the glue. So that then lends you to be, well, is it Naby Keita or Jordan Henderson? Could be.
I think the reason why we put this in, and you're absolutely right about Jordan Henderson in terms of his leadership, but the way that Thiago played against Man United and Keita, we'll think that, I think it'll be more or less the same scenario against Everton, Don. They'll have a lot of the ball in that midfield. Let's have a look at Thiago and his performance against Man United.
How long we got?
Because it was incredible. Well, as long as these go on, because Don, it was magnificent, wasn't it?
I mean, there's one. You see, the thing with Thiago is I've played in this position and you'll see that pass. It's not hard to see the pass, but there'll be a little gear that just kicks into your brain and goes, don't be silly.
Yeah.
I can't play that pass.
Exactly.
So what I'll do is I'll go there because eventually I might even, if I'm confident, I might even whip one into that area for Trent.
Before you play that on, Don, the thing with Thiago is just look at the body language of all the players. And I'm just going to take this here. You just look at... this guy here is Sadio Mane. He expects the ball as well.
They all do.
They all expect
Look at Trent. Look at Mo Salah.
The ball. He's going to get it there somehow.
Diaz is probably the only one that's not showing interest.
Exactly.
What did he learn? He's only been there 5 years.
Exactly.
He learned when he gets it, be on your toes.
Because he's got eyes in the back of his head.
Exactly. So to have the confidence then to try and whip that ball, I mean, look at the corridor that he's going to try and play it into. You know, he's taking a risk, but he's a risky player because he backs his ability. Like I said, everyone on the pitch, everyone apart from Thiago, Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, Naby Keita, Trent, Diaz, they would all play one of 2 passes.
Yeah.
To see that pass is not a hard thing. It's executing that pass. Look at the execution on it, and it's whipped in with pace.
Five players out there, Don.
Yeah, exactly, and it's whipped into the correct side as well.
And because he's done it with pace, he's still got pace to get it and turn. And that's the key. Even if somebody tries to get in there, that centre-half would go tight and get into him and read it. Because he can't read, he's done it with disguise, they can't do that. And off he goes. And it's just absolutely terrific passing, an exhibition of passing that he put on.
He set the tone. And I watched Thiago when he played for Bayern, and I always thought Thiago was a sort of central midfield player, but he's learned under Jurgen Klopp to play on the left of a 3 or the right of a 3. So he's not a traditional holding midfielder. He's not a Fabinho, even though Fabinho gets forward. He just sees different pictures. And what I like about him, some of the pictures that he sees are obvious, but he'll scan for a more difficult pass and then make his mind up. He's got a trick. Look at the arrogance. Look, it's ridiculous. it's the arrogance is incredible.
Donna, just on Thiago, we all know what he was like at Barcelona, at Bayern Munich. We were seeing these performances on a regular basis. Have we seen them often enough at Liverpool?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
I know he's been injured for quite a bit of the
I don't think we've seen a full performance. I think we've seen him in bits and pieces, Tom. You know, that's because the team's been so good. He's had injury problems at key times when he's had to be taken out with the cup final. Is an example of that. But at the moment, it's, as I said, peak performance. All these players are at peak performance. And Don, to get a result, Everton have to be at peak performance. Who's going to be key for them?
Well, this was a harder task, I think, than picking Liverpool's 11. I don't think we'll be far away with that, and I don't think I'll be far away with this. It's just a question of, does Frank Lampard go with a back three or a back four? Yerry Mina played well in the last game. Midfield, I would be astonished if it's not Fabian Delph because of experience. Alan's tenacity in a Merseyside derby. Decore didn't start the last game, but he could be vital in this game for his legs, his brain, the way he's a goal threat. No DCL. So I expect Richarlison to play through the middle. DCL might be missing for the rest of the season. Damari Gray and Anthony Gordon. And Everton have got one in Anthony Gordon. I've got some clips of him, Leroy, and he's been an absolute find. And he reminds me a little bit in his attitude, the way he plays the game, like Wayne Rooney, where he wants to be involved. He's brave. Technically, he's very good. He's got incredible character. He's got incredible pace. He's fearless, I think. When you come into a side when you're close to bottom three, believe me, it's hard.
Do you know what? It feels like it means so much to him.
He's when
you see him every single that every performance, he gives absolutely everything.
Well, he's setting the tone. And he's setting the tone for one or two experienced players. And that's very rare. You've seen it with Arsenal over the last 18 months. The young kids have carried them at times. This kid is showing and setting the tone for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, for Richarlison, for Iwobi, whoever it might be. And he's saying, give me the ball. I want the ball. Now, that's something that is priceless.
You know what I find really impressive, Leroy? Not only him saying, give me the ball, from set pieces, considering he's one of the youngest players on the starting 11, he's taking the dead balls.
Yeah, because he's technically the best. And Don mentioned Saka at Arsenal. The reason why we recognise why Saka and Smith Rowe was so good is not because they're playing in the side that are playing well, is when they were playing badly. So they keep taking the ball, And that's what Anthony Gordon does. And when he makes a mistake, just brushes it off he goes again, gets on the ball, because he has this belief in himself. And at the moment, you're looking at Derby, who can make something happen. Richarlison, missed chances, but he kept going. That's a bravery in itself. But when you go to Anfield, you're not going to get the ball very often. And they need to get the ball to Anthony Gordon, because he's the one who's going to make something happen, Don.
See, there's a theory, Liv, when ex-pros like us, and you hear people say, you've got to be brave. And in a Merseyside derby, people will take that the wrong way and go, you've got to be brave in a tackle? No, you've got to be brave when you're 1-0 down. And you've got to be brave when you wear that Everton shirt or Liverpool shirt or Man City shirt and the big teams around the world. You've got to have personality and character to say, we're 1-0 down, give me the ball because I want it. Lots of players, I've seen them over the years, I've seen lots of players hide. You'll have seen them as well. When the tough gets going, some people hide. He doesn't hide.
Here's a question on that, right? Leading up to the game. Will Frank Lampard or the Everton players be surprised if at any stage in the game they go 1-0 down? And if they are, is it something that would be ever discussed? Look, we might go 1-0 down against this lot, but if we do, this is what we're going to do. Is that normal? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. It wouldn't be put in those terms. If we have a bad period,
it would be don't panic.
Don't panic.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be put in when we go goal down. Won't be when we go goal down. This is what we do.
Okay, got
It'll be in adversity. This is what we need to do.
It'll be phrased slightly different. It'll be like under the cosh.
Exactly.
Secret for 1-0 down.
Exactly.
Don't panic means we're 2-0 down.
I did.
If it gets to 4-0, don't give up. It won't be that.
Play for pride at 5.
Exactly. Don't give any more at 6.
I did kind of frame that in a Sunday park.
No, it's a good question, because you always wonder when Frank's delivering his team talk and what he's saying to the players on a daily basis before kick-off. He knows at the back of their mind there's every chance they might go one behind. The chances are quite high.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's the Merseyside derby for Liverpool, while Manchester City take on a Watford side fighting to retain their Premier League status. Let's hear what both managers have been saying as the build-up continues.
I didn't expect us to win Carabao Cup, being an FA Cup final, semi-final Champions League, and 1 point behind the leader of table. I didn't think about that, to be honest, but I knew we will be better. So what we did last year, what the boys did last year, was really special in such a difficult situation. To get qualified for the Premier League, Champions League was massive. There were a lot of moments before the Newcastle game, so I didn't know that was 1 year ago, but before that game, there were a lot of moments where I thought, that's difficult. We will not make that this year. We had moments where we thought, okay, hopefully we don't have to play Conference League.
We cannot draw points, but they cannot draw points either. So, yeah, but definitely, yeah. The players know it. We were in this position before and they all have to win. So we play a final against Brighton to be able to play another one. And tomorrow's another one. And if you win, you have the chance to play another one. And step by step. So try to recover injured players, try to, to be fresh especially in your head, in your mind. And when finish tomorrow, another one in 3 days in Champions League. And after Leeds. And, it's nothing much. It's just be fresh, relax, and all energy, positive one as a unit, the day of the game, the moment of the game.
So Manchester City face Watford this weekend. On paper, Don, looks like an easy fixture. But did Manchester City, I know obviously they went on to beat Brighton 3-0, but were there any nerves, do you think, especially in that first half?
I think they were. They seen Liverpool go top by a couple of points and they knew how important a victory was.
And the performance from Liverpool as well.
Exactly. And they were a little bit twitchy. The cameras were panning on Pep once or twice and he was losing his rag a little bit at the officials and one or two players. But Kevin De Bruyne, man of the match by a million miles.
Can I just ask why none of the Brighton players just leaned a little bit hard?
I think they tried.
I think he was handing them off as he was going. He was like Yaya Toure in his prime.
There was a good decision from the referee, Mike Dean, because I think it was Caicedo that tried to pull him down.
Yeah.
And the referee played an advantage.
This is a quality finish, Bernardo Silva, by the way. Absolute quality. And you're right, Don. De Bruyne was so good, so good.
He's like, he must be a brilliant patient. Because whenever he's injured, he's back within a week. He's out of the season. Yeah. Back in 2 weeks' time.
He is, yeah.
On Kevin De Bruyne, I went to the semi-final at Wembley against Liverpool, where he didn't start. And for as good as that Manchester City squad is, you notice the difference in that team when he is not in it.
He was the one, Jonathan. They played well against Brighton midweek, but there was no real... Not cutting edge is not the right word, but the drive from midfield was missing. Then he got it loads of times, Kevin De Bruyne, and not only has he got brilliant range of passing, his vision's excellent, he can execute passes all over the place, the angle of crosses that he puts in, he's quicker than what you think, and he's stronger than what you think, and he reminds me a little bit of Paul Gascoigne, and Gascoigne had the trick where he would sort of, Gaza would slow down a little bit. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't do that. He goes through the gears, but he gets tight to someone. And Caicedo was coming in, then all he needs is his strength, and then he's away. And he literally just was bursting past that three-man midfield like you wouldn't believe. So, super important player.
Headlock.
Pace.
Score prediction for the game?
What's that saying, Liv? You've gone a bit sort of...
What's that?
Score prediction for the game?
Score prediction from the game. Well, a couple of seasons ago it was 8. I don't think it'll be an 8, but I'm going to go for a 4.
I'll go 3. 3-0 again.
Perfect. So both going for Manchester City wins. Right, that is it for part 1. It is Earth Day today as well, so a day where attention is placed on the climate emergency and things that we can all do to keep our planet sustainable. After the break, we'll head live to Arsenal to see how they're leading the way in keeping things green. Plus, we'll talk to their Norwegian midfielder Martin Ødegaard about the added responsibility he's taken on in recent games.
Welcome back to the weekend warm-up on Earth Day, a day to focus on acting, innovating and implementing meaningful actions in each of our lives to change the course of the ongoing global climate emergency.
Yeah, Southampton's match against Arsenal last weekend was dedicated a greener game to inform fans about the importance of environmental sustainability. Supporters were offered a free bus to the game to lower the number of cars on the road, plus free vegan food was served to encourage a reduction of meat intake.
Norwich have tweeted their support for Earth Day, announcing the removal of all single-use plastics that can be controlled, as well as stating their commitment to sourcing local produce.
Leading the way in the Premier League sustainability table are Spurs, who claimed maximum points in the most recent Green League due to their dedication in minimising their carbon footprint through recycling more, using single-use plastics less, as well as educating and inspiring young people about climate action in the community.
and doing our bit in the studio, Olivia's decided to wear some recycled denim. So thank you very much, Olivia.
Well done, then.
Lucky.
Okay.
Lucky.
Now, before we focus on what is such a crucial game for Arsenal and Manchester United, we'll keep within the theme that's something that's more important. As we head to Io, who's in North London at the Emirates, and Arsenal are setting an example to how Premier League clubs can operate sustainably, aren't they, Io?
Yes, I mean, look, we are here pitchside, and rarely do we ever get to come so close to the pitch. Look at that, all that grass there, sustainably mowed, I would let you know. But we'll get onto that in just a second, because I'm joined here by Michael Lloyd, who's the sustainability manager here at Arsenal Football Club. Michael, last time I checked, right, I was looking at the London clubs, and a certain other North London club was just peeping Arsenal to the top of the sustainability leaderboard. What's going on there?
That's not a great start, is it? That's not a great start to any interview. Yeah, unfortunately, they got lucky. They got lucky in this one, but we'll be back. We'll be back and take our rightful spot at the top.
Yeah, well, it's only because they built a brand new stadium, so I'll let them off with that. But let's talk about what Arsenal are doing to be more sustainable, because I did say, you know, this was, up until maybe last year, the most sustainable club in the whole city. I was reading something about the lawnmowers. They're not here at the moment in time. They've taken them away. But I hear we've got these electric ones that are incredibly efficient, but also incredibly sustainable.
Yeah, so the groundsman's really involved in being more sustainable in everything he does. So yeah, he's managed to take over the petrol mowers and now bring in electric ones. And when we do have to use tractors and stuff, we're now on the biofuel for those as well. So the groundsman is really kind of engaged, does an awful lot around it. He's reduced the amount of time the pitch grow lights are on as well by about 50% since we've moved into the stadium, which is a huge saving. And it's a credit to him and his team that it still produces that with much less use of resource.
Yeah, for sure. And what is this I'm hearing about reusable cups? Because obviously match day, people are going to be drinking God knows what before the match, or even during the match. What are we doing to make sure a lot of those cups and a lot of those bottles or whatever are sustainable as well over time?
Yeah, so we introduced a reusable cup in the stadium, working with Camden Brewers, who are our beer partner. And what we do is it's a really straightforward thing. It's about 50,000 cups per game, which were single use, are now reusable. So end of each game we collect them up, we sort them out from our general waste, we send them off to a plant where they're washed and brought back and reused. So they're reused around 200 times, which is a huge saving when you consider, like, a single use cup.
Yeah, it's so interesting, all the little things that go into sustainability that fans probably don't even realise in general. Now, I was also reading somewhere that the Arsenal Football Club have signed some sort of treaty or something with the UN, like some sort of global treaty. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so we were the first Premier League club to sign up. It's the UN set up this kind of agreement to encourage clubs and businesses, actually, it's not just a sport thing, to make a public commitment to do better, to reduce their emissions. And we consider that, really, really important from Arsenal as a club, part of the community, a global club. So we felt it was really important that we actually make a stand and say, do you know what, we are going to start to do something. And putting a public commitment out with the UN Sport for Climate Change was really important to us. So yeah, we're really proud to be involved in that.
Yeah, I've got to say though, we started it off talking about Tottenham, but I tell you what, that's not a bad North London derby to have, really. The sustainability challenge between two of the biggest clubs in North London, or two of the best clubs, or probably two of the only big clubs in North London. But that's a pretty good thing to be aiming for, really, to be right up there at the top.
Yeah, and it's great that Premier League clubs are taking this really seriously now. It's not just us and Spurs, Manchester City, Southampton. I could list a whole load of them. Liverpool have all been doing an awful lot of work. Brighton, they've all been doing a lot of work around improving their sustainability, and it is important. It's important to the clubs as a football club, as a business, but also as a way to communicate with our global fan base. You look at the Premier League across the world, how many people follow us. So if we can just make a few people change to improve the way they react with the planet, then we're doing a good job.
Yeah, Michael, I absolutely appreciate it. Thanks so much for that. Well, let's head to football matters, because Arsenal play Manchester United here to kick off match week 34. And ahead of that big clash, we caught up with the midfield maestro, that is Martin Odegaard.
After the 3 last games, we lost 3 games in a row, and we wanted to get back on track. And I think it was important for us, for the fans, to get a win, to get back to get the momentum back, and to be there for the top 4 fight again. So I think it was a crucial game, and I think we did well from the start. We played with a lot of intensity, and I think it always helps, especially to win big games. So we need to use that momentum and to bring that confidence into the next game, and then try to win that one.
Odegaard wearing the captain's armband for Arsenal for this one.
Of course, it's a big honour to be the captain, and when Laka is out now, of course it's a big honour to step in and to do the job for a few games. But I do the same things anyway, so it's not like really important to me. But of course, a big honour and big compliment from the coach and the staff. I've been through a lot, even though I'm still pretty young, and being the captain for my nation, for my country, is something special. So I think that gives me a lot of experience and confidence to do it here as well.
Well, they go again. Oh, what a goal! Odegaard, and he's urging the fans inside the Emirates Stadium.
I think the relationship we have with the fans this year is amazing. I feel like the support we get from them is unreal, and all the games, away games as well. Like yesterday we played Stamford Bridge, and it feels like a home game, so the support has just been unreal and amazing this season. So I'm really happy and thankful for all the support we get. I've learned so many things, the way he sees football and the way he thinks. I really like it, and like the way that we play football, the way we train, and there's so many details you can learn every day, and I think it helps us a lot, those small things, and I really like to work on those things and to try to get better and improve. And I think if we play well as a team, if I play well for the team, then I'm happy, and then things will come if it comes, and that's all. But the only thing I think about is just perform for the team and try to get Champions League football next season, and then fight there and fight for titles with the club, and then we'll see.
Martin Odegaard there, very young to be captain at Arsenal, but his performance has maybe justified that, Leroy.
Absolutely, good. He's better than what I thought. I knew he was a really good player. When he came on loan, I thought he just gave us a glimpse of what it was about. And when he signed permanently, he really did grow into that position. And he just dictates the play, and he's so confident. He talked about being brave, Don, about taking the ball in tight areas. Again, see a pass, he's graceful, got great left foot, but he's really good without the ball as well. He's diminutive, doesn't matter. He'll get in people's faces. And when you've got a number 10, somebody who can play in that position, and he's great without the ball, it gives your team real structure, because you're not thinking, he's not a noser where, we'll do your work for you. He does both sides, and he does it absolutely brilliant. Great attitude, and maybe a future Arsenal captain.
Yeah, definitely. Brilliant player. A player we saw come to life at Stamford Bridge who has struggled and hasn't had much game time is Eddie Nketiah. Has he even given Mikel Arteta a decision to make? Surely he has to start against Manchester United.
He has to, because it would be a tough meeting for Mikel Arteta to have with Eddie Nketiah and say, just to let you know you're doing great, but Lacazette's coming back in the side.
Yeah.
That's not going to go down well, and rightly so, because you put the performance in and all you want as a young player is an opportunity. And when you score a couple against Chelsea and you win 4-2, you'd like to think the manager's thinking, I've got a chance to start. And so it would be a blow.
The confidence, though, that performance will have given him, who was lacking in confidence, wasn't he? And now, one performance like that could change everything.
That's when now, though, he's got to kick on.
It has,
It's hard when you're a young player and you get into a side and you play well. That's the easy part. The hard part for a young player is staying in the team, not giving up your shirt.
You're right, Don. I didn't think he could develop being on the bench for Arsenal, because he obviously was sent back from Leeds. Didn't really make the impact that he wanted at Leeds. He was linked to other sides going out online. I thought, you need to go out online, go in the Championship, and he didn't go. And I'm thinking, is he going to be one of those that might have to move on and might get lost in it, when he moves on? But I was really pleased when he got that up, because he's hit the crossbar, he's hit the post, and he's come so close. So that's a real big stepping stone for this young man.
And we were discussing whether we should start or not against their next opposition, Don, and I suppose with all due respect, which is normally what people say when they're about to be disrespectful, they are playing Manchester United next, and a striker would love to get at that Manchester United defence right now.
Oh, absolutely. He'll be chomping at the bit thinking, I can tear these to shreds. That's just how brutal the game is. You work on that sort of level and you back yourself and your ability and you back yourself and your teammates and you look around form-wise. I know they're coming off the back of sort of 3 losses on the spin, then a great win at Chelsea. So that was brave, that performance. I didn't see the win coming, in all honesty. I thought it was going to be 4 losses on the spin. Did you?
I said to Ian Wright, I spoke to him just before I left for the game, and I said, I've just got a bad feeling about this game in terms of Chelsea. And Righty said to you,
Righty said to you, I was there, Righty said, we might score 1,
but we
won't score 2.
No.
Score 4.
So Righty was right.
When's Righty never right? When's Righty not right? Chelsea did gift Arsenal 3 of the goals, but then you think Arsenal have to finish
look
the
at
chances.
this. But I mean, it was just such a great game to watch. Timo Werner now is
confident. You would never see Timo Werner taking a shot from there, would you?
Exactly. And
it was absolute. I couldn't believe what I was watching in the stadium. It was end to end. Both defences were non-existent, especially for that first half.
Saka was unplayable.
Yeah.
He tore the life.
That second goal for Arsenal was beautiful.
He tore the life out of Marcus Alonso.
And Sarr, that left-hand side for Chelsea was really vulnerable. Every time Saka got the ball, it looked like they were going to score.
Yeah, true. I mean, look at that touch. He tries a little Bergkamp touch. I mean, I don't know what Sarr's thinking. Absolute mix-up.
But that's a classic example of making your luck there, that goal.
I mean, what is Azpilicueta doing there? I mean, it's outrageous.
Great penalty, though. Great penalty. And you know what? These young players, we've been saying how good they are. To go there, and once they've got their mojo back, they are a dangerous side, by the way. Nketiah, to answer your question, of course he should start. There's no doubt about it. Yeah. And then with himself, Smith Rowe, Saka, Odegaard, they could cause anybody so many problems. So look, this is a real opportunity for us, and I didn't think they'd get a result there, but it's an opportunity for them now to go and to solidify, beat 2 kind of big teams, in terms of confidence going forward, it's massive.
Well, the conversation and the motivation for Arsenal, and it should be from Mikel Arteta. And I keep talking how brutal your performances have to be and how you have to be an individual. This is a time now for Mikel Arteta to be brutal, and what he says to the players. And what he should be saying to the players is, beat Man United, they are buried. They've got no chance of getting top 4. That's your motivation. That's your team talk.
I was just going to say, before you said that, Don, we've managed to do the whole talk on Arsenal and not mention top 4. But we've done it now.
Just at the end.
I mean, that is the extra motivation for them. Let's turn our attentions now to Manchester United, who this week have appointed a new manager. You're right across all of continental football. Tell us a little bit about Ten Hag.
Intelligent man. He's his own man as well. He won't suffer fools gladly. He'll want total control of Man United, and he'll want total control of players coming in, players going out. The only slight negative, I remember a guy called Peter Bosz, who was the Ajax manager, and he was brilliant, and he had Ajax absolutely flying. He went to a big club in Borussia Dortmund, didn't work, got fired, bombed. He then left Borussia Dortmund, went to Leverkusen, got fired. Now he's at Lyon, got beat against West Ham. He's massively under pressure. So going from Ajax, which traditionally is one of the biggest clubs in the world, it's not a patch on the size of Man United. The scrutiny is going to be incredible. It's going to be into his personal life. He's going to be scrutinised every single day. The players that he's got to work with are not up to the level that he would like, but that's going to take time. So in my humble opinion, Man United are not competing with Liverpool, Chelsea or Man City. And Man United fans, I think, are intelligent and they know where their team's at. They're competing for one spot and they're competing against Tottenham and the likes of Arsenal and West Ham. So what they have to be, in my opinion, Man United, there's going to be a period at the start of the season where I can imagine Ten Hag's team starting well, because that's the new manager bounce after a pre-season. But when you get closer to the Christmas period, there's going to be games that they lose. There's going to be a few games that they draw because they can't come in and just turn it all around. So they're going to have to be patient.
Leroy, do you see changes or a mass clear out at United?
Both. Changes, no, there's got to be. There's got
Changing
to be.
an attitude.
Well, change of attitude,
sure.
change in environment, their working environment, change of personnel, change of the group, changing in terms of coaches, top and bottom. There's got to be changes. And you know what? Don's absolutely right about this guy. Obviously, having worked under Pep, I love the way that he approaches the game. It's really positive. And it's a good decision for him because he takes Man United in the first time in recent history when Man United fans are saying, yeah, we've got to give him time. Yeah. We don't expect to be, winning things straight away.
It might not even be a trophy.
It might not be a trophy.
As long as they can see the job that he's doing.
Exactly, and they will see that. I think he is on the training pitch. He's not someone he's going to be on the training pitch just like Pep with players, just getting the best out of them, grabbing them by the arm, saying, no, this is where I want you to be. This is the structure that I want. No matter what players, and I think you'll be able to see that, and that will give Man United real hope going forward. And then within that, get the players he needs.
I tell you, the young players, in my opinion, that must be excited at working under Ten Hag, and I think he'll get them to another level. And you can say, well, the level's low and the bar's low. But I'm thinking people like Marcus Rashford, Anthony Elanga, Jadon Sancho, he'll coach them into being so much better.
What does this mean for Ralf Rangnick now? Is the announcement of Ten Hag going to have any impact on Manchester United this weekend, do you think?
It might help him. It might help him get a result. It might be a positive for the players saying, look, because he hadn't had the effect, let's be honest, that Man United wanted. So Ten Hag now, watching from afar, might give the players a lift. In terms of what he does, we don't know. His
best work, in my opinion, Ralf Rangnick, is at a boardroom level, not being on the grass.
But it's got to be dictated by this guy here. You can't go in and then say, all right, and then you start working up there. If he wants him, he will decide what happens with Ralf Rangnick, because that's what United need.
The good news is for Ralf Rangnick and Erik Ten Hag especially, if Ralf Rangnick stays on, he can say to Ten Hag, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, don't keep him, he's got potential, work with him, give him a little bit of time. He's been there for whatever it is, 6, 8 months.
That is a good point.
So he can have the ear of the manager, the new manager, very quickly.
I don't know where you're coming from, but it's amazing where some managers see something in some players and another manager wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you might go in there and you just mentioned Rashford there on his recent performances, but he's got to go out the door. And he'll say, no, there's something I want to work with. And that's why I say, he'll listen to him. He'll take what he says on board. But it's got to be his decision on players, because he'll see something in players.
There's lots of players going out on frees anyway.
Exactly.
I think you start again.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting time for Manchester United, isn't it? Right, let's head back to Io now. Io, Arsenal fans might have actually feared this fixture at the start of the season, but are they fearing it now?
Well, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because people here are talking about believing in the process, and I guess that result against Chelsea really showed what this Arsenal side can actually do. And bear in mind, they've still got injuries as well. Well, let's talk about the match this weekend. Well, the match is kicking off on Saturday. I've got Harry Symeou here, broadcaster and a huge Arsenal fan. Let's not forget that bit. Harry, talk to me about Chelsea from a fan's perspective. How do you feel about that result?
Yeah, it was an incredible result, and it was one that we didn't really see coming, I don't think. I know there were a lot of people that were quietly optimistic that Arsenal could get something at Stamford Bridge, but I think when you look at the run we were on going into that game, you feared the worst. And when you saw the changes that Mikel Arteta made, there were question marks about some of those as well. But thankfully it all worked out. The team were fighting, they battled, they were brilliant. I thought the game plan was fantastic from Mikel Arteta, and I thought it was executed perfectly.
Well, let's stick on Mikel Arteta at that point, because you talk about his game plan. I think certain fans were talking about the game plan against a team like Brighton, for instance. They weren't quite sure about his selection, they weren't quite sure about the formation they went with, but at the same time, Are we as fans, or are Arsenal fans, believing in this process?
I think there's still a divide. I think there's still a lot of people that want to see more. I think there's still a lot of people that feel that some of the mistakes that we perceive, or what we perceive to be mistakes along the way, could prove costly come the end of the season. I think the Brighton game is an example of that. I also think the decision not to reinforce the squad in January is one that people are going to talk about if Arsenal do miss out on the top four. So I still think the jury's out. But me personally, I think we're moving in the right direction. I think the club needed a revamp. We needed to rip it all out and start again. It's clear that the focus is on building around this young group that are coming through. But with that comes the problems like inconsistency from time to time. And just like the players are a little bit inconsistent, I think the manager has been a little bit as well. So I think it's really difficult to read it at the moment. But if we make the top four this season, I think we'd have done that ahead of schedule, and I think that would be a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, just a quick one on the young squad. Eddie Nketiah, former Chelsea boy, scores 2 against his old club. Do you think we'll see him in an Arsenal shirt next season?
Personally, no. I think that Eddie Nketiah gave a great account of himself at Stamford Bridge the other night. And as an Arsenal fan, it was heartwarming to see that, because he did an interview earlier in the week where he spoke quite openly and frankly about the frustration he's felt over the years, not getting the opportunities perhaps he feels he deserves. But I just don't think that Arsenal as a football club are going to be able to give him the guarantees with regards to game time that he probably needs at this point in his career. So I think, I've got to be honest, I think Eddie Nketiah will probably be elsewhere next season.
Okay, quick one on the match tomorrow. Manchester United, as many would have heard of, appointed a brand new manager, Erik ten Hag, from Ajax. How do you think that team's going to set up tomorrow? Do you think that's going to be a booster for this team?
It's difficult to say, isn't it? Because they appointed Ralf Rangnick just before they played Arsenal and won at Old Trafford. So I don't know if it's going to have that much of an impact. I think there'll obviously be an impact in some way because, of course, Manchester United has settled now. They know what next season looks like. There's been a lot of uncertainty about how things might look in the future. But Ralf Rangnick surprised me in the way he set up at Liverpool. He went really defensive, and normally he doesn't do that. So I was surprised at that, which kind of poses questions as to what he's going to do this time around. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw United with a back three again and looking to hold us off.
Yeah, nice one, Harry. Thank you very much for that. Always a pleasure talking to another Gooner. And I've got to say, if fans are to believe in this process, beating Chelsea this week, beating Manchester United tomorrow, could be a really good step in us believing that Arteta could be the man at Arsenal.
Us, he says. Us, says Io. Thank you very much.
It weren't us when they lost 3 on the spin, was it?
It was them, wasn't it?
We're heading for our final break now with the weekend warm-up quiz after it. Plus, stick around to see what happened when I was on the red carpet to chat to some of the Hall of Fame nominees as the latest inductees were announced.
Pre-season, with having the chance to build and mold his own staff, also a new team, which is obvious. We will have a new team with a full pre-season. I'm pretty sure that we will see a different team and improvement on the pitch.
Plus, Thomas Tuchel says that Chelsea does not feel safe in the chase for Champions League places. Tuchel's side had looked secure in third, but are now just 5 points ahead of both Spurs and Arsenal.
Now, JJ, at the top of the show, you said you'd been a busy boy this week. What have you been up to?
Well, I've had loads of washing to do, a little bit of ironing. I had to leave the stuff in the washing machine, go up to the northwest to meet Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andrew Robertson, then come back down south, pick up the dry cleaning, and then head over to the Premier League's Hall of Fame. It was the inaugural event for the newest and latest inductees. This is what happened. Hi, it's JJ. I'm here at the Shard in London for the inaugural Premier League Hall of Fame inductee ceremony. 8 players have been recognised for their fantastic contribution to the greatest competition in the world, and it all happens here.
You know, getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's only now, like I say, 22 years later, you're retired and you get this kind of accolade, this kind of recognition, and kind of makes you think. It's very difficult for me to still take it in right as we speak.
They're all exceptional athletes, they're all exceptional footballers, and they are, to a man, exceptional people.
In 2008, when I joined the Premier League, I never thought it was possible. But it goes to show it's just been a lot of hard work and a long journey and a lot of consistency, and I'm glad to be here.
I've been inspired by people to work hard and to be who I am today, and hopefully I can inspire other players to be who they want to be.
To be on a list amongst so many great players that have graced the Premier League for years and achieved and won so much is it's a great honour.
To grow up as a young boy, watching Premier League, and to have dreams, ambitions of one day playing in the Premier League, so to get inducted into the Hall of Fame is something I'm proud of.
When you think back to where I came from to actually try to be a professional, sit here, I can't believe it.
I'm very happy and proud to be part to the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
No, Patrick was already Hall of Famer when I came to the Premier League. He could have stopped his career then. Probably should have. Sorry.
I'd say any save that I've made against Ian Wright was a good save.
It's a special feeling to be inducted into the Hall of Fame along with so many fantastic players.
You have to fight for the right to play, and you have to finish above United if you wanted to win the league. So we managed to do it a couple of times, so that was good.
Thank you to the Premier League, the most competitive and the best league in the world.
The Hall of Fame inductees, the class of 2022.
So as the sun beautifully sets over London, that's it from the inaugural Premier League Hall of Fame inductee ceremony. It's been an absolute joy and an absolute pleasure. Before we go though, my elderflower and tonic, shaken, not stirred.
Look at you! Hanging out with Trent and Robbo one week, then up the Shard with all these famous people. How was it, JJ? How was the event?
Yeah, it was amazing. I think that their contribution to the Premier League in making it such a world, and it's spoken about, and really it is a worldwide. Unlike some of the big competitions in America, the Premier League is genuinely loved around the world. And what really took me by surprise was how humble and humbled by those guys getting that award. So yeah, it was a great evening, and nice to just be out socialising again.
Yeah. Glad you had a good time.
Yep, we had a great time. Okay, I know this is the real reason you watched this show. It's time for the weekend warm-up quiz.
Go! Perfect, Liv.
Can I just say, Liv, do you know how long I've been trying to get Seema to do that properly?
She's been high, she's been low.
That was my best one. That's my best one.
you
I've
seen
only
what
been on this show a few times.
Right, so what's going on here?
I've worked it out. I've worked it out. Look.
What is it?
Ten Hag's new system at Man United. It'll work.
There's 12 players there, Lee.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, me.
Oh, sorry.
I've gone for a system to accommodate JJ and to accommodate Liv. So, JJ, you're in the hole. Number 10.
I thought you meant literally.
No, you're number 10, so go and do that. Go and do this. Liv, strikers.
Oh, that perfect.
Your flares on because you said you want to get all the glory. That's what you said to me. Put me as striker. So both of you are in.
Love the flares. I'm going to be wearing the flares every week. I'm wearing the flares every week on this show.
That's so good. Okay, scores on the doors.
14-12, I think.
15-13.
15-13.
15-13.
No, it's not. It's not the same thing.
Same but different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, round one.
Hold it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Who am I?
Okay.
I was born on the 25th of April, 1983. 93, I ain't got my glasses on.
Good start.
In Europe, I'm 29, not 39.
In Europe?
On Monday, yeah.
Well, could be anybody. Don't know.
Okay. Next one. I was brought to the Premier League in 2021 to partner either an Englishman or a Swede.
Englishman.
I love this part of the
partner
show.
an Englishman to partner.
Baran?
Yes!
well done. Well done.
Rafael
Very good,
Varane.
Don.
It was that man.
Trying to think of the Swedes in the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Premier
very
League.
good, Lindelof.
Victor
very good.
Lindelof.
Very good, Don.
That's brilliant, Don.
That was very good.
That's really good.
Okay, next up is the picture round.
No, you're good at this.
Take a look at this picture from Premier
You're
League
good at this.
history. Who is behind the...
Calvert-Lewin.
No.
Richarlison.
Oh!
There it is, Richarlison. Leroy, so close.
Don's off to a flyer.
Close.
Okay, time for mapped out.
Okay.
Someone's career with the clubs and the years. All right, started in 1992 at Tottenham Hotspur.
Darren Anderton.
Good guess. Then went to play for Middlesbrough.
Just pressing it for the sake of it.
No, well, I'm not. Because normally when you press the button, you get an answer. What are you trying to put me off for?
No, I'm not. Go on.
Don, answer.
Who is it?
No, you've thrown me. Is that it?
No, that's not it.
I was going to say.
You threw me is definitely not the answer.
To Middlesbrough.
Then went to Everton.
Gazza?
Easy. No.
Oh!
Barnby.
Yes, Leroy.
Ah.
Good one, Lee.
I thought you would have got that, Don.
I know.
Yeah, you play with him.
I know I did.
Nick
I did. I
Barnby.
did.
Right, code breaker.
Oh.
Looking for the 4-digit code. If you
sure
get
that won't work?
completely right, it will unlock 2 points. If neither of you get it, the person with the most correct digits gets a point.
Okay.
Both of you will get a point if you are tied on the same number of digits. This is Arsenal versus Manchester United themed. The first digit is the number of goals scored in the reverse fixture.
Oh my God.
I can't even remember it.
Need an answer?
Put a number down. Between 1 and 10,
Oh,
preferably.
well done.
I can't remember that game.
Anyway, let's go on quick.
I've done it.
The second digit is Harry Maguire's shirt number. The third digit is Arsenal's position in the table. Oof. Trick question. The fourth digit is the number of clean sheets Manchester United have kept in the 19 Premier League games since they last played Arsenal.
Number of clean sheets?
Since they last played Arsenal, how many clean sheets have they kept in the 19 games?
19.
So how many games have they not let a goal in?
Oh, well done.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, well done. You're so unhelpful.
Okay, right, we need your answers. Let's reveal.
Okay.
3,
5-5-3.
5-5-3.
What have you got, Don?
I've gone 2, 5-5-6.
It's a draw.
The answer is 5-5-5-5. So you both get a point each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another
Okay.
point each.
Cool. All right, time now for Forget Me Not. Keep your eyes, ears peeled. Don't be distracted. It's a Merseyside derby special of Forget Me Not.
Easy beauty, sir.
And a goal, Ferguson! His first for Everton. Oh, what relief for Joe Royle.
3 men red carded. Jeffers for Everton, Vesterbout and Steven Gerrard of Liverpool.
Lee Carsley! And the goalkeeper couldn't keep it out. Guess who's not going for a night out in that family? And Suarez for Gerrard! Hat-trick in front of the Kop on derby night! Reach out and touch perfection! And this time Suarez has found the back of the Everton net. A rather inflammatory celebration, hardly sensible. And put back in by Bill Jagielka!
Sort of swung my right leg, or swung whatever I say, my right leg.
Sturridge. Oh, it's hit the post, and Mane follows in. Sadio Mane has probably won the derby for Liverpool.
15-14.
Oh, they're getting so close! Hold it back.
Are you superstitious?
A little bit, not really.
Will you want your little cards or your tactics boards next week?
Yes, and Liv will be there with a line of players on.
banging in all the goals.
Banging on all the goals. Put me as a striker, she said.
I was a striker. I was a striker.
You were
yeah,
a striker.
Back in the day,
Yeah,
I was
back
a
in the day.
striker.
Congratulations, Dom. Won it in it now.
Well done. Good for you.
That was the weekend warm-up quiz. Okay, some massive games in the Premier League this weekend. Of course, the Merseyside derby, Arsenal against Manchester United. But a London derby, another one, Chelsea against West Ham.
The big one.
She's nervous.
I am. Chelsea's home form.
Terrible.
Give me that
I'll give you the stat. I'll give you the
Lee.
stat. Chelsea have picked up just 3 more points than Everton in home games this season.
Wow, that's the stat of the season.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Second to best away form behind Manchester City.
Yeah.
Home form. Considering Stamford Bridge used to be a fortress, 85 games unbeaten, 1 point. Now, everyone comes to Stamford Bridge.
On that basis, it's a West Ham win.
Absolutely. And it's
Don't
Chelsea.
say that.
Chelsea desperately need a win. I mean, it's incredible talking about Chelsea worried about finishing in the top 4. Only 5 points. I know they've got a game in hand, but that defeat to Arsenal, everybody's saying, oh, are they safe? Look, I think they are. I think
We said by
I'm gonna go
almost by default because the teams below them just seem to be messing it up, don't
I'm going to go
they?
score draw.
Yeah.
I'm going to go score draw.
I fancy a draw as well. I think West Ham could get something out of that game.
Do you think West Ham still could qualify for the Champions League?
No, I think their focus is on
Europa
winning the trophy.
But they could get into it by winning
Exactly.
Europa League, couldn't they?
And I don't blame the players for that, because the journey that the fans and the players and the management and all the staff have been on to get to a semi-final against Eintracht, and they can win it.
Yes.
And they can win the trophy. They can win it. Them and Leipzig are the best 2 teams, so it wouldn't stun me if their focus was just shifted.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's it. Arsenal Manchester United kick off this match week. But from all of us, that's it for now. Thank you, guys. Take care, guys. Bye.